Call to order the Board of County Commissioners regular meeting for January 9th, 2014. Welcome to the new year. Welcome to the commission chambers. Welcome the press having their new seats. Is that okay with y'all? You're happy? All right. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I salute the flag of the state of New Mexico, the symbol of perfect friendship among the united cultures. Okay, the first thing on the agenda today is election and approval of the 2014 chairman.
Chairman, I would like to make a motion to elect our present chair, Brett Caston, to the chair for 2014.
And I gladly second. Thank you very much. I really appreciate y'all's confidence in me. There's a motion with a proper second to elect Brett Caston to the 2014 chairmanship. Is there any discussion on that motion?
I definitely have something to say. I really do appreciate everything you do for the county. You've been a really good chairman, a very active chairman. I think the whole group is very active, but there's a lot of extra things that you have to do as chairman, and we appreciate that. Of course, when we're up here, we're all one vote, but I definitely need to tell you I appreciate all the extra boards you're in and all the extra work that you do.
You know, I would just like to echo that, and that's what I was going to say. And just to add on top of that, the work that you do in Santa Fe and around the state that people don't even know about. And we appreciate the work that you do there also.
Thank you guys very much. Any further discussion? That being said, I just want you guys to know, this is the fourth time in a row, and it's such a humbling experience, and I really appreciate your confidence in me. All the electeds, all the directors. I don't know that I could ask to work with a better group of people. So I'll call for the vote. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any nays?
There's just one thing I'd like to add. That means you have to buy lunch. That's got to be separate.
Buy you lunch. I'll send you a certificate.
At least those has 3 rooms. You can
we can
sit
go.
in each room.
Yeah.
Okay, next item on the agenda is approval for the regular meeting agenda.
There are no changes that I know of, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
Chairman, I'll make a motion that we approve the regular regular meeting agenda as written.
Motion is proper second to approve the regular meeting agenda. Is there any discussion on that motion? Seeing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Public input. During this portion of our meeting, we welcome your suggestions and want to hear your concerns. This is not a question and answer period. Speakers will be limited to 5 minutes. Any individual who would like to discuss an item in more depth may request to be placed on future agenda. Request forms are available in the county manager's office. Is there anybody who would like to have public input today? Yes, sir, Mike. Come on up. Please announce your name for the record, please.
I'm Mike Cuff from Gila. I'm representing Farm Bureau. I wanted to make a public announcement. The Interstate Stream Commission is having a presentation on the Arizona Water Settlement Act. It's their quarterly public meeting, so it's important if you're interested in the water. It'll be at Cliff High School in the gym this Monday, January 13th, starting at 6 p.m. Thank you very much, sir. And thank you again, Chairman, for what you do.
Thank you.
Do you think we can put that in the paper that way if more than one of us can want to show up to that meeting? We can, please?
No, we can advertise it. Commissioners may be in attendance.
Is there any further public input today? Seeing none, we'll move on. Minutes. Approve or disapprove the minutes for December 10th, 2013 for our regular meeting minutes?
Chair, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the minutes for December the 10th, 2013 for the regular meeting.
There's a motion and a second to approve the minutes for December 10th, 2013. Is there any discussion on that motion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Financial reports. Approve or disapprove the cash flow analysis monthly report ending 11/30/2013. That is, right, John, are you going to go through that again, John, as well?
Okay.
Somebody may not watch the work session.
Okay.
I want them to know that we're in good financial health.
Very good.
I'll start off with the general fund. The cash balance as of July 1st, 2013 was $2,451,424. Year-to-date revenues was $3,132,513. Year-to-date transfers are zero. Operating expenditures year-to-date are $1,004,020. Salaries and benefits year-to-date are $2,668,890, leaving a cash balance at November 30th of $1,911,028, with projected transfers, revenues, and expenditures through June 30th, 2014 of $459,539, leaves a cash balance at June 30th, 2014 of $2,370,566, less the required reserve of $2,105,342, leaves a surplus at June 30th, 2014 of $265,224. The next page is the budgeted revenues. As of November 30th, we've collected 29.89% of the budgeted revenues. The next is the transfers. As of November 30th, we have done 0% of the budgeted transfers, which are a total of $1,319,242. On the next page, we have the road department. They started the year July 1st, 2013 at $267,657. They have year-to-date revenues of $273,384. Year-to-date transfers of zero. Operating expenditures year-to-date of $130,330. Salaries and benefits year-to-date are $547,684. Leaves a cash balance at November 30th, 2013 of a negative $136,973. With projected revenues, transfers, and expenditures through June 30th, 2014 of a positive $273,746, leaves a cash balance at June 30th, 2014 of $136,773, less the required reserve of $130,935, leaves a surplus at June 30th, 2014 of $5,838. The next is the corrections fund. They started the year July 1st, 2013 at $407. They have year-to-date revenues of $374,285. Year-to-date transfers are zero. Operating expenditures year-to-date are $332,407. Salaries and benefits year-to-date are $836,551, leaving a cash balance of November 30th of a negative $794,266, with projected transfers, revenues, and expenditures through June 30th, 2014 of a positive $826,989, leaves a projected cash balance at June 30th, 2014 of $32,723. We hit the negative on the road and the corrections fund because we transfer money from the general fund, and we just usually don't do those until the second half of the year. We start to make those transfers. So that's why those two go into that negative around mid-year, and then we'll make the transfers to them. So,
Can I get a motion to approve the report?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the cash flow analysis monthly report and
Second.
The motion is second to approve the cash flow analysis report ending 11/30/2013. Is there any discussion on that motion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Approve or disapprove January 7th, 2014 expenditure report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. We talked at the work session about how we used to receive a summary on this, and we haven't gotten it the last couple of meetings. What has happened is because of an update in our system, they've changed the report. And so Randy Hernandez, our accounts payable clerk, as well as Linda Vasquez, are working with Tyler to get that summary report back.
you say they changed it? You say Tyler changed it?
Tyler did an update to the system, and because they take input from everybody that uses Tyler throughout the world, some people might not have used that report, and so when they do the update, it might not come back into the new update. So then we call them and ask for that report back, and they'll load it in our system only.
So when it's their change, it don't cost us anything?
No, it's all part of our annual maintenance costs that we get all the upgrades to the system as normal. And so that's all it was, is it was an upgrade that got rid of that, and we're working to get that back.
So you're going to be able to get us a summary by fund?
That's what we're working on, is the summary by fund that we used to have for you. That was an easier report to read than all of the detail. So we'll get that for you, but I've gone through and highlighted some of them. The expenditure report is for $2,818,036.36. In that, we have payments to the New Mexico State Treasurer's Office for some of our taxes at $59,491. Risk Management Division, which is for our dental and our supplementary insurances some of the employees had, is $92,005.23. We have the radio equipment and repeaters we bought for Upper Members Fire is $63,484.79. And then we had a sole community provider payment for $1,121,996.38. The rest of the expenditures are normal expenditures with payroll. And then we also, as I talked about, we had that advance payment because we've changed insurances. We had to pay for the month of January in advance. And so that's about $300,000 to the different carriers that we had to cut a check for to bind those policies for our employees for the new health insurance. And so those are the major expenditures in that report.
Okay, any questions of John on that? Okay, can I get a motion?
Make a motion to approve January the 7th, 2014 expenditure report.
Second?
There's a motion and a second to approve the January 7th, 2014 expenditure report. Is there any discussion on that motion? Seeing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion passes. New business, approve or disapprove the New Mexico Department of Health EMS Fund Act applications for Tyrone Volunteer Fire and Rescue, Tyrone White Signal Stations, District 1, Tyrone Volunteer Fire and Rescue, Flying A and Wind Canyon, District 2, Tyrone Volunteer Fire and Rescue, Hachita Station, District 3, and the Pinos Altos Volunteer Fire and Rescue.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make the motion that we approve the New Mexico Department of Health EMS Fund Act applications for the EMS Tyrone Volunteer Fire and Rescue, Tyrone Volunteer Fire and Rescue Flying A and Wind Canyon, Tyrone Volunteer Fire and Rescue Hachita Station, District 3, and Pinos Altos Volunteer Fire and Rescue.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to approve the New Mexico Department of Health EMS Fund Act application for the following Volunteer Fire and Rescue, Tyrone White Signal, Tyrone Flying A, Tyrone Hachita, Pinos Altos Volunteer Fire and Rescue. Is there any discussion on that motion? Seeing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Approve or disapprove the Volunteer Fire and Rescue annual election of officers for Pinos Altos, Sapio Creek, Upper Members, Tyrone, Whiskey Creek, Santa Rita, Fort Baird, Lower Members, and Cliff Gila.
Chair, I'd like to make a motion to approve the volunteer fire and rescue annual election of officers for Pinos Altos, Sapio Creek, Upper Members, Tyrone, Whiskey Creek, Santa Rita, Fort Baird, Lower Members, and Cliff Gila.
And I second.
There's a motion and a second to approve the Volunteer Fire and Rescue annual election of officers. Is there any discussion on that motion? Yes.
I just wanted to let the commissioners know and everybody know that really the only change in chiefs that we had was that one in the Upper Members, which is to Marty Mize. All the other chiefs are still the same for each of the districts.
Okay. Any further discussion? Randy, you went through this list good? Randy?
Yes.
You went through this list good and everybody's good? All right. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Approve or disapprove the reappointment of Alicia Edwards and Marilyn Alcorn and the Food Policy Council for a 3-year term.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make the motion, we approve the reappointment of Alicia Edwards and Marilyn Alcorn to the Food Policy Council for a 3-year term.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to reappoint Alicia Edwards and Marilyn Alcorn to the Food Policy Council for a 3-year term. Is there any discussion on that motion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Accept the audit report for a year ending June 30th, 2013. John, do you want to say anything about that before we get into that?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. We went over on Tuesday, and reiterate is that Grant County has an unqualified audit, which is the best you can get. There was no material weaknesses or major findings that will affect us in getting any types of capital outlay or funding, as has been put forth through the executive orders from the governor's office. When we went through, we talked about our findings. We have one from 2007, which is our purchasing, that we've worked to reduce that. It's just we get those findings where somebody buys something before they get the PO, and we get the PO afterwards, and we're working on. The other is the property tax schedule, that we're real close to getting that. We just had an issue, as I reported on Tuesday, that when the auditor looked at the report this year, what he commented to me is that it was, when it pulls across and pulls in the report, it's pulling the total amount of value before the exemptions and that the assessor's office does, and not the amount that's actually being sent out for bills. So when we get that fixed, he thinks that finding will be done, which it's a finding that most people in the state have, because it's a very hard report the auditor's asking for on those aged property taxes. The other was the solid waste receivables, and it's really due to that balance that we have out there, which we know we're working on. The chairman's been working on trying to find ways to make it easier to collect those fees, or get rid of the fee and somehow, and then we get rid of that finding, because we have people that just don't pay that $5 a month for their solid waste. And then the only new finding we have was the maintenance of the personnel records. They found some of our I-9s, which is your form that shows you're legal to work in the United States. Some of them were not signed properly, or the proper identification wasn't checked. Yeah, they signed on the wrong line, didn't date their signature, so we've corrected those, and so that will be gone next year. But that was our only finding that we had, the new finding. So it was a very good audit. Everybody worked really hard in the departments, all of the departments, to get the information to the auditors. It was on time to the state auditor's office, so we have no finding for being delinquent. And we also, they started this year a new finding that if you don't have your contract in by May, you get a finding, which we didn't get that either. We had that in place, so we did really good. It's a really good turnaround. I appreciate the auditors and all the staff and electeds and directors that worked on it. They did a good job to turn this around and get us back on track.
That's all year long, too. That's not just during the audit. They did a good job all year long.
They worked really good. I think when they audited our cash balance, we were within $400 out of $10 million. We were within $400 in balancing on cash, so it's really excellent. Everybody did an excellent job.
John?
State's at 400 million. They're both 400.
We can use that.
Yeah.
Okay, can I get a motion to accept the audit report for the year ending June 30th, 2013?
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion second to approve to accept the audit report for the year ending June 30th, 2013. Is there any discussion on that motion? I just want to say, it's been a long time coming. It's the first time that Grant County has been on time with an audit since I've been here. It was over 2 years behind when we got here. I appreciate all the directors and all the electeds and my counterparts as commissioners, and John for working so diligently. It was one of our goals the day we stepped foot here 3 years ago, and it took a couple years to get it in place, but it's done, and I don't anticipate it ever getting out of compliance again. Okay.
Not so, thank you very much for all the work. We appreciate it.
With that being said, unless you guys have something to add, I would ask for a vote to accept the audit.
Yes.
All right. H, to ratify the State of New Mexico Department of Finance Administration Fund 892 Capital Appropriation Project.
Chairman, on Tuesday, we spoke about this. This is that agreement we've been waiting for since last legislative session for the $300,000 for improvements to this building and the sheriff's office. We've been fighting to get it. We were able to get it December 11th. I went up to Santa Fe and was able to get in with the director, and we finally got it straightened out and signed. So I went ahead and signed it while I was there with him, and we're bringing it back to get it ratified in front of y'all. I just didn't want to walk away with an unsigned agreement and then have them change their mind before we got to this meeting.
Why is the signature so shaky on their part?
I think it always hurts for them to give away money up there.
Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to ratify the State of New Mexico Department of Finance and Administration Fund 892 Capital Appropriation Project.
And I second.
There's a motion and a second to ratify the State of New Mexico Department of Finance Administration Fund 892 Capital Appropriation Project. Is there any discussion on that motion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Aye. About done here. I appoint one member and an alternate to the Area Transit Authority Board.
So we talked about on Tuesday, this is, with the bus services, we have basically two groups right now. We have the Southwest Regional Transit District, which Commissioner Ramos is a member of, and I am an alternate because it has to be an elected on that. This is a 2007 JPA signed between the Town of Silver City, Grant County, Deming, and Luna County, forming an Area Transit Authority Board, which we've never formally appointed members to. They kind of just operated in conjunction with Southwest RTD, and so we're now just trying to make sure that these two boards are truly separate. This does not require it to be an elected official, but it can be if the commission so chooses.
I move to appoint Gabriel Ramos and Randy Villa as the alternate to the Area Transit Authority Board.
It kind of sounded like you didn't mean it.
Or were you getting choked up about it?
I'm thinking we need to hurry.
I'll second that. Thank you for your service, Mr. Ramos.
No problem. Okay, is there any discussion on that motion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Resolutions. Approve or disapprove resolution number R-1401, open meetings resolution for 2014. I don't think there was any changes in that, other than the couple that Abby had. Go ahead, Commissioner.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to approve resolution number R-1401, open meetings resolution for 2014.
And I second.
Motion is second to approve resolution R-1401, open meetings resolution for 2014. Is there any discussion on that motion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Approve or disapprove resolution number R-1403, authorizing and approving submission of a completed application for the financial assistance and project approval to the New Mexico Finance Authority for Tyrone Volunteer Fire.
That's two.
Do I have?
Resolution 1402K.
Oh. Okay, I see what I did. All right.
Inmate
Approve or
orientation policy.
disapprove resolution number R-1402, inmate orientation policy for 2014. I'm sorry about that.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make the motion, we approve the resolution number R-14-02, inmate orientation policy for 2014.
I'll go ahead and second that with, I'd like to ask our administrator a question or make a statement about it.
Please do. Do you want to do it in discussion? Or?
No, yeah, under discussion.
Okay, let's go ahead and vote then. Well, no, yeah, I guess this is discussion. They're not all here today.
First paragraph, it was the first paragraph of your orientation, inmate orientation. About the first 2 or 3 paragraphs, there's some language in there, and I don't want to go over it specifically, but there was some language that I wondered if in fact all inmates would understand because of the language itself. And so the only thing I would ask is that maybe the first 3 months or so that you're using this, make sure they understand some of the verbiage that is there. They may not understand the words that are there. There are some there that can, but there's some that may not. And so I would just ask them, make sure that they do understand. In fact, it was the second page. The second page, as far as under the written communications with jail staff and such, and inmates' rights, there were some things that I wondered if, I understood, I think, I did, but I didn't know if they would understand, so just kind of make sure that they do, see how it goes. If it looks like they do, fine. If not, then I would suggest that you maybe change it a little bit, so put it in a little bit more simple terms.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioner Hall, the language in the policy itself is, it was the one that was recommended by NMAC, but I understand, I read it also, and what we do is anytime anybody's incarcerated into the facility, they're immediately given the policy is given to them. We also have we're going to have the policies all, they're going to be posted in every one of the pods. And they also have a right, they have a grievance form that comes to me, so if there's any issues or anything that we're going to have with this particular policy or parts of it that they don't understand, we have an avenue for them to be able to discuss that with them or to clear up any issues with it. But I will take your recommendation and I'll make sure that they understand it.
The other thing, most everything that you say that the inmate has to get to you or whatever, it tells them where it's at, except for the one form where you use the most, which is the inmate request form. It doesn't say where they get it. Is it posted somewhere? Is it in a shelf somewhere? Do they ask the sergeant or the guard or who for it? So that's something else you may want to look at under inmate. It starts out with grievance procedures and such, and you talk about inmate request form. Okay.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioner Hall, that's part of the process. Anytime an inmate comes in and they have an issue or they have some questions, they immediately get a hold of one of the detention officers and they're given both forms, and then both forms are sent up to me, and they're addressed that way, and we addressed all the grievances or any issues that they may have, and then either I personally or Deputy Administrator Andazola go back with the inmate, and we make sure that the issue is resolved.
Yeah, I was just concerned about the access. Where do they get it, and do they understand where they do get it?
Yes, sir. They all understand that if they have any issues, they get a hold of the detention officers, and that's when they're immediately given the form.
Okay.
The form is there at male control and also at female control, so they do have access to the forms.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Approve or disapprove resolution number R-1403, authorizing and approving submission of a completed application for financial assistance and project approval to the New Mexico Finance Authority for the Tyrone Volunteer Fire Department.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Commissioners, we spoke about this on Tuesday. Since we talked this morning, I received the application, so I'll be hand carrying that up to New Mexico Finance Authority when we head up next week, not next week, following week. I'll take it up to them to try and get it in their February meeting.
Chair, I'd like to make a motion to approve the resolution number R-1403, authorizing and approving submission of the completed application for financial assistance and project approval to the New Mexico Finance Authority for Tyrone Volunteer Fire Department.
And I second.
Motion to approve resolution R-1403. Is there any discussion on that motion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Item M, approve or disapprove resolution number R-1404, authorizing and approving submission of a completed application for financial assistance and project approval to the New Mexico Finance Authority for the Santa Rita Volunteer Fire Department.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, got an update on this one too. As we talked about it, we're waiting on those exhibits. We got 2 of the 5, so we're closer. So we're just waiting on 3 more exhibits to finish the review on the agreement that we have going to go forward with that application and loan. So we're getting closer on there, so hopefully we can make the February meeting as well for Santa Rita.
Okay.
So we still need to pass this, then, right?
Yes, we
Okay.
Still need a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I would like to make the motion that we approve the resolution number R-14-04, authorizing and approving submission of a completed application for financial assistance and project approval to the New Mexico Finance Authority for Santa Rita Volunteer Fire Department.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to approve resolution number R-1404. Is there any discussion on that motion? It's been a long time coming, and it's going to be a really neat addition to the volunteer fire departments to have a station in Hanover. So, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
You know, before, Chairman, if I may, before we get off of that area, one of the things I've been most impressed this first year of my office as commissioner is the organization and the men and women of the volunteer fire department. I don't know what the other counties have, but I'm very impressed with ours. Excellent job. That's free time, and you guys give it to the community, and that's great.
Thank you very much.
She did a very, very important portion of our county, and I mean, they've done wonderful jobs every time we have any kind of incident out there, whether it be with fire or a health issue with the residents. So we appreciate you.
Absolutely. Okay, at this time, I take a motion to recess as the Grant County Board of Commissioners.
So moved.
Second.
Call to order the Grant County Indigent Health Plan Claims Board. First item on that agenda is approve or disapprove the indigent fund for December 31st, 2013.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, in your packet you have the indigent fund. We went over it. It's 1,031 claims totaling $696,137.77. There are at this time no out-of-county claims, which is the indigent portion. Those are all sole community provider claims. And we have no update from what we discussed on Tuesday, that we're still trying to work on that sole community provider piece in this legislation, the funding for the hospitals. I know the meeting on the 16th, I believe Susie Trujillo is going to be attending for the hospital, to that meeting in front of Senate Finance Committee when they talk about hospital funding, and possibly Beth Allred as well, the CFO for the hospital. So,
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve the indigent fund for December 31st, 2013.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to approve indigent funds for December 31st, 2013. Is there any discussion on that motion? Seeing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Can I get a motion to adjourn the Grant County Indigent Health Plan Claims Board?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Call back to order the Grant County Board of Commissioners. At this time, we'll stand for county reports. Sheriff, do you have anything?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. I wanted to officially and publicly announce that I will be seeking re-election for the position of Grant County Sheriff. I look forward to working this year with everybody. Like I reported in our report on Tuesday, our crime has gone down a little bit, and I want to continue to work for the citizens of this county. Therefore, I want to continue as your sheriff. So I look forward to the upcoming election. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheriff. You've done a great job. We appreciate everything you've done.
Mr. Sheriff, it's been really, really good working with you. I know anytime we ask anything of you, you come through for us, and we appreciate it. And you come through for the public, and there's nothing else we can ask for. We appreciate it.
Appreciate your service. Thank you, Sheriff.
Madam Assessor? No report? Steve, do you have something today?
Steve always does.
I handed you guys the report that we put together, and as of January the 8th, our property tax collections have been a total of $3,452,775.64, of which $3,012,503.66 goes to the general fund, and $440,271.98 goes to the debt service. So we're almost at 60% collection so far for property taxes for the 2013 tax year. Also, on January the 6th, we received the check for copper production, and the general fund gets $885,734.12 of the amount that we got, and then the debt service is $89,246.13, and so we're doing pretty good.
Thanks, Steve. Yes, John?
I just want to add, the 3 million number, does that include the copper production, or is it?
No.
Not
no,
including it?
that's
Okay.
separate.
Just know how much money I got.
How much I can spend.
Okay, any questions?
The only other thing that I do want to comment on is more or less kind of a public service announcement, so to speak, is that we are still getting an awful lot of return mail in our tax bills. So, New Mexico state statute makes it a requirement of the property owner. It's their responsibility, if they're not receiving their tax bills, to contact our office or the assessor's office to make sure that they have the correct mailing address for them. If they're not receiving a property tax notice or a notice of values, they need to contact us. It's their responsibility. And, like I said, even though we've got a good collection rate, we still have those that we're getting back, and we need their help. And I don't know if it's something that we might be able to jointly maybe put out a list of those that we are getting returned, just the names, and saying, contact us, or what else we can do. But, it's just, I think, something that we could do proactively to try to...
Is it the same names from last year?
Some are. And we've worked on it. I don't know what's happened. There's some that we thought we had corrected, but they just have this come back.
On the residential portion, whenever like a mortgage company or something's paying it and that mortgage gets paid off, who's in charge of, or who's responsible for changing the address back to the landowner,
property
or
owner.
vice versa?
The
See, they
property
don't
owner
even know
is-
that it's...
Yeah, and we do get, a lot of those people do come in and say, I paid off my mortgage, who pays it? And normally what happens is, we have our accounts flagged to go to the mortgage company, and the property owner doesn't get a tax bill. And most of the time, the mortgage companies will forward that to the customer that's paid off their mortgage. But a lot of them, they come in and they say, we want to check to make sure, and then they go ahead and pay them themselves, and we make the address change at that time. And then we have them go to the assessor's office and change that as well.
So those addresses in those two offices are not tied together? They are.
Well, they are, but they aren't, because if we have an address change, which we've got a system now, when we do an address change, we also forward that to the assessor's office. When they have done the change, they send that slip of paper back to us indicating that they've done it. Because what happened about 3 years ago, we had done all these address changes, and we didn't forward those slips, and when the new tax roll came up, it reverted everything back. The assessor's office is the one that controls the tax records, and any address changes that are made have to be done in the assessor's office to make sure it flows to us.
Okay.
So, that's...
All right. Any other questions for Steve?
No, sir.
No, thank you very much, Steve. Rob, you got anything today? No, sir. Okay. John?
I wanted to announce that because of session, our meetings in February, we'll be doing the 25th for a work session, the 27th for the commission meeting,
What's the first date?
25th.
25th and 27th?
Yeah, Tuesday, the 25th for the work session, Thursday, the 27th for the commission meeting, because session goes through the 20th, and so this will be the week following that, so we'll be able to come back, give a good report on what happened on the session. On the 25th, I've spoke with the group that put the presentation on in front of INMAC that the chairman talked about with, it's the New Mexico Forest Industries and the Nature Conservancy on a plan on the forest to make it healthier, be able to go in there and do some work in it.
Watershed development.
Watershed development, and so they are going to be here on the 25th. They said they should arrive around 10 o'clock, so whenever, what we'll do is we'll make that work session whenever they get here. Chairman can choose to go into their presentation if he wishes, and we will send to the other, the neighboring counties, Catron, Hidalgo, and Luna County, and let them know that this presentation will be going on. If they wish to come and attend it, they're more than welcome. They'll have to advertise for their own commission. We won't do that, but we will advertise for ours, of course, because it's a normal meeting for us. But they will be. They were going to be here yet on Tuesday, but they had some scheduling conflicts, so they had to push it to the 25th. So,
Is there any way that we can go ahead and put a ad in the paper or announcement in the paper saying that we all might be together at legislative functions?
we can advertise that.
Like we did last year? Yeah, please.
We'll advertise a general one that says the commission, no county business will take place in Santa Fe, but you may be at the same function, or up there while we are there this week or throughout that session. So we'll do one.
Just a general.
We'll send a general announcement off to the paper before we head up.
Because many times we're at the same meetings, many times we go in and lobby for Grant County together, and I think it's important we do that.
No, we will advertise that you all be in attendance up there, that no county action.
One of the things that the Nature Conservancy and the Forest Products Group want is our endorsement of their plans. So we probably need to make sure we get that on the agenda also for approval or disapproval.
And when they present it on the 25th, we can add it that day for the 27th meeting. Under the Open Meetings Act, because we have 2 meetings that week, we have to finalize the agenda 36 hours prior to the second meeting. So we have to have a draft out within 72 hours, and then within 36 hours, we have to finalize, right?
So we take the vote on the 27th then?
Yeah, so if they have it on the 25th, we can add it to the agenda for the 27th, and you vote.
Then if we could set up the tire recycling people for a meeting in March, where they're taking used tires and making tire-derived fuel, TDF, out of them, that would be wonderful too.
Yeah, I will give them a call.
Okay. Anything else, John?
No, they should be patching the asphalt out front, so.
Okay. Commissioner?
Just down on what we talked about at the, as far as what I discussed at the work session, the only thing further I would like to say is that, gentlemen, I've enjoyed this past year. It's been a learning experience, and you've been good role models for me. I want to thank John and Abby for the work that they've done in trying to educate this old man, and the staff that I've worked with that taught me how to use an iPhone and iPad. I know that was a challenge, but I think I've got it down, and I've enjoyed, it's been a learning experience, and I'm really looking forward to this next year. Okay, thank you.
Well, yes, sir. It's been a great 3 years, so I really do appreciate it. It's been good this 1 year with you, Commissioner. You've done a really good job too. I mean, you've attended a lot of meetings, and I think we all have got our taste now on what it's really like. But I'd like to wish everyone a Happy New Year, and I'd like to, I know many people have been asking what's going on over at my business, and I know it's been very unfair that I haven't been able to come out and tell anyone because of corporate rules, but I am moving on from State Farm and moving into another insurance company. I can't announce what that company is as of right now because we haven't signed a formal contract, and I might be violating something in high corporate world. So, but I do want to, put an end to some of these rumors. No, I'm not leaving town. No, I'm not sick. I don't have cancer. And no, I'm not running for Congress as of yet. But, these people that are putting these rumors out there, I'm going to pray for these people. They put out some pretty ugly rumors out there, and these people need prayer because when you gossip like that, it's pretty bad. But that is what's happening. I am moving on to another insurance carrier, and I'm looking forward to the move, and I'll be opening up soon. So I thank you very much.
I'm really glad that you're not sick.
Well, thank God, yes, sir, thank God.
You know, I probably am going to skip any comments today because I probably wouldn't get through them. So I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Hold on.
Second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.